So here I am, back out for another wild camp. It's another solo one tonight. So I'm on the outskirts of Loch Tay and I'm climbing a hill that's about 500 metres, just over 500. It's about the height of the Pentlands. And the reason for that is there's a lot of low-lying cloud on the Munros, which, talking of the Munros, that's the Ben Lawers range over there. Hoping to go back over there with Monty in a few weeks' time. So yeah, I've never climbed this hill, but I've heard of it. I've heard there's some great views from the top, but I'm already quite impressed with the views from 450 metres. I mean, like, it's really nice. So hoping to spend the night up here. I probably will settle with that, but I'm actually planning on doing a couple of Munros tomorrow morning, which is at a different location. But it just depends on how I feel in the morning and how the weather is. But this will be a separate video anyway, and if I do the two Munros then, well, you'll probably see them, but it'll be a day trip. So yeah, just one wild camp this weekend. So anyway folks, hopefully you enjoy this one, and I'll see you when I get to the top of this hill. So I just reached the summit about 5 minutes ago. It's just over the top of that wee hill there. I'll take you up to it at some point this evening. Hopefully the wind will die down. I've still got a good view of Loch Tay though, which is good. The Lawers range is just behind that. And then this is where I've found a reasonably flat bit of grass here. And then if I take this forward a wee bit, you'll see the views are not too bad. At 485 metres, that's where I am now. I started at about 50 metres, so yeah, I started in this wee village down here. I think it's called Killin, I think that's how you pronounce it. So anyway folks, I'm going to get the tent up, and then yeah, I can start enjoying this view. So I've managed to get a relatively flat spot to spend the night in the tent. I've done well because it is actually quite uneven, the ground here, but I knew that I would get somewhere flat. So I spent about 40 minutes just making sure that I got the tent pitched up as best I could up here. One thing I love about being up in the hills is the colours you get. Some areas are in the sun, some areas are still in the shade. It just creates a really nice view, especially when there's a loch in it and you get a full view of it. Still looking around, Ben Moore stopped by there in the cloud. Ben Lawers and Ben Glass over there and still in the clouds, so I feel I've made the right decision coming to a smaller hill this weekend. Alright folks, so everything's all set up. It's just me up this hill. So I'm going to leave the tent behind and show you the summit of this hill now that I'm all set up and I'm in a flat spot which is sheltered. So yeah, it's just all long grass, not the best for pitching a tent up in. I hate walking on this as well, but yeah, it is what it is. It's a nice hill though, great views. So I'll see you when I get to the top of this hill. You might want to excuse the wind though. So the top of this hill has two different cairns. This is the first one here, and the second one, which is the bigger of the two, and it's also higher up. I think it's the proper summit of this hill, so I'll take you up to that one. So that's the cairn there. There's my wee tent. So I'm actually not that far from the summit, but I've got a lot of shelter down here as I've mentioned, so it just makes sense to pitch down here. Sure, the view's not as good, but at least it's going to be a peaceful evening, which I'd rather have, to be honest. And to my left you can still see Loch Tay, so it's not too bad. So a quick look at my setup for the night before I get dinner. So I got another Wayfarer meal, Pepsi this time, and I've got the jet boil zip to boil the water. I've got some Morrison's water there as well. I really like the flavour of water from Morrison's. The sleeping setup's not changed since Ben Toolican. I've still got that new sleeping bag, the Hyperion, which I really like. The only thing that's changed since my last camp is the tent. So the wayfaring meal's ready now, so I'll get tucked into this and I'll see you after it. So that's the wayfaring meal all done. It's Pepsi time now. Nice wee drink to have after finishing the wayfaring meal. I really like Pepsi. So I'm really happy with how the evenings went. Although it's been quite windy, I've managed to find this spot down here which I'm quite lucky about, to be honest. But yeah, all the Munros that I could see, Ben Moster, Binny and the Ben Lawes range, they're all still in the cloud. So yeah, I'm really happy that my plans worked and that coming up a smaller hill, yeah, it's not as challenging, it's not as rewarding, but the views are just fantastic from up here, and yeah, that's all that matters to me sometimes. So anyway guys, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the evening. Hopefully the weather is as good as it is now, but we all know what happened up Ben Toolican. Surely it won't happen here. Anyway guys, I'll see you all in the morning. Just hoping for a nice sunrise for a change. A couple of hills out towards the east seem to still be trapped in the cloud over there. A couple of time we'll be back in that wee village down there. Then I'll be making the short drive home along that road just in front of me. Then back on the A84 through the Trossachs. So it was another pleasant night, on the house, to be honest. Really good sleep last night. So went to bed about 1 in the morning after watching a bit of Monty's live stream. So the tent is a bit of a mess. The vestibule's pretty quiet though. A lot of my stuff's in the inner, and that's just because there's a lot of insects and spiders and stuff like that crawling about in this grass, so did not want anything getting in the backpack, so the backpack's in the inner for this one. The footprint was definitely handy for this camp, to be honest. Alright folks, so that's it. Decent morning, no wind, must be like 1 or 2 miles an hour, which is always handy for packing the tent away. So I'm going to pack away the now, and I'll see you once I get the tent down. Alright folks, so that's me got everything packed away now. A few things in the vestibule still, but inside the inner's fine, all clear. So I'll be taking the tent down in a couple of minutes. My backpack's there, got a wee Pepsi there, and I've got my wee trekking pole set up where I put my dry bags on so they don't blow away. I've just realised though, I can see where my car is for up here in this village. It's just down there, you'll not make it out yourself, but I can see it with my own eyes, next to that church or whatever that building is down there. So with all my camping gear packed away now and in the backpack, and my trekking poles are ready for the walk back down the hill, I'm going to wrap the video up here since the camp's over. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please consider hitting the like button. If you are new to the channel, feel free to check out my previous camping trips. If you want to keep up to date with future ones, hit the subscribe button. So yeah, I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you on my next trip. Take care, folks.